Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Listen, it's a good day in the markets. The markets are up again today after yesterday's FOMC meeting and Fed decision to lower interest rates by 25 basis points. It looks like there is a further interest rate reductions, and you got stuff like housing, 30-year fixed mortgages coming down, though that went down the day before. And there's a lot of good news going on. And so I am still cautiously bullish, okay? The market is still showing a lot of strength. I'm cautiously bullish. And if you only want to hear good news, I know what's going to happen when the next dip, major dip. I don't mean a few points, but I mean major dip. A lot of people that are permeables will get wiped, okay? But we here, we like the dips because we see buying opportunity. So we play the market that we're in and we make money. Today, my portfolios are green. Congratulations. I know yours are green in stocks and in crypto. All right. So we're going to cover some stocks and then crypto afterwards. But I want you guys to understand, or should I say, I want to reiterate that tomorrow we will be in Hampton, Virginia. I'm going to play that at the end. Okay. The iron sharpens iron convention. Okay. And so that's going to be 3 days. And yes, it's 100% free. It's for men and women. And all three of us, should I say four of us, will be there all 3 days. So stock market today, NASDAQ, Dow, S&P rise after Fed signals more cuts. Nvidia bets on Intel. So Nvidia is investing in Intel, and Intel is popping today because of that investment. All right. And so there's a lot going on there. You can check into that. So Intel is doing well. It's got the government backing it up, and now Nvidia. So Intel is looking good. And so it's still a low cap stock for chips. It's very cheap, but there is a lot of growth, a lot of room for growth still in Intel. Me personally, I'm going to wait for a pullback to buy more. I have a very, very small position in Intel. Wish I had more before the pop, but we're still doing good here. Don't cry for me. Look, the NASDAQ. Let's look at what the NASDAQ is doing. The NASDAQ is up 265 points. It was up. We had some more minor job data that came out this morning, and it started to tick down, all right? The Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P was ticking down in the pre-market. So it pumped up, started ticking down, and now, boom, more strength to the NASDAQ, which is looking good, all right? It's really, really looking good. So now I'm going to go back to classic here, and then we're just going to stack them in order, okay? S&P, right? And then we got the Dow, and then we got the NASDAQ. Look at that, good people. That looks good to me. I don't know about you. If we had this every day, man, we'd be banks, right? Look at that, 47%, call that 48% on the S&P. The Dow, 227%. And the NASDAQ, which is most of you guys' stocks, most of you guys that are watching me, here's why your portfolio is green. It's the NASDAQ, 265 points, which is really, really good. Now, Tom Lee talked about, let's add that, he talked about the NASDAQ 100 yesterday, and it's up 304 points. So on yesterday, the day before yesterday, I played you a video, and he said the NASDAQ 100 would do good. But yesterday, the NASDAQ 100 went down. But today, look at the NASDAQ 100. So I went into, which I'm not going to bore you with now, I showed you what was in the NASDAQ 100, okay? And then we got the Russell 2000, right? Small caps. Let's look at that. It's up today. So the entire broader market is doing well. We will check that. We will continue to cover it as things happen. There's a lot of good things to happen as the Fed continues to lower interest rates. Okay. Remember, we needed to hear his tone. Was he dovish or was he hawkish? And so far, we like how the market is reacting. Now, me personally, I want to wait until Friday evening, an hour before closing bell, tomorrow evening, to see how the market is really reacting. Okay, so NASDAQ was down on yesterday, up on today. It's trying to decipher what the Fed just said and what is in store. So we are going to be patient. So we bought some small positions in these quantum computing for the new portfolio. But for those of you that's been following me for a while, we've been in these plays for a long time. So now for the new portfolio, we're going to wait for them to cool off, right? So if you can look at here, you got Quantum, D-Wave, Rigetti, IONQ, and SoundHound. Look at how much these are up. 6%, 6%, or 6.5%, 16% after it mooned on yesterday. Rigetti is absolutely just mooning. IONQ, 5%, 6%. And if you go over the last 5 days, look at that. And, sometimes, remember, always say, consider the source. When someone, there was a couple of people, these are trash. Well, look at how this trash has been reacting. Over the last 5 days, look at that. 16%, 43%, 52% for Rigetti. INOQ, 46% over the last 5 days, okay? So let's look at some warrants. Look at this. Look at this. So Rigetti and D-Wave warrants are up another. This is insane. Rigetti 33% more and D-Wave 10, 11% more. Those of you that don't have stock up you, coupon code LEARN, LERN, LEARN, which is going to be the Black Friday sale that's available now. All right. So I'm telling you guys, literally, you would have paid for the class in 2 years of money moves with just by learning about these warrants. And look at the last 5 days. So hey, it's doing what it's doing. All right. And I was in this over the last 5 days with hundreds of shares, 134% on the warrants, and on D-Wave, look at that, 71%, right? So we have multiple portfolios. I've been holding these since last year, okay? Oh, no, earlier this year. I've been holding these since earlier this year. I believe that was earlier this year or the end of last year when I did the QUBT play. Listen, if you have been following me on these quantum computing stocks, I brought them to the family, and you are making money, even if you sold some and took some profits, let the people know by leaving a comment, okay? I did a lot of research on this, okay? So let's move into crypto. Look at the bubbles. Pop, pop, pop. Look at that. Pump is pumping 1.7%. We could see Fartcoin is fart ripping again. The whole thing. Look at that. Everything is green with the exception of this one coin. Look at that for the last day. And even the week is looking what? Good. And you could see Pump Coin over the last week. I've been talking about it for the last month. Over the last week, Pump Coin has been what? Pumping. Now, for those of you that's going to ask for these small coins, I still have Pepe, have not sold, and I'm just holding, okay? I still have Bunk, B-O-N-K, still holding, not selling. Here we go. Bunk and Pepe. These are the twins that I'm holding as far as meme coins, okay? Guys, don't sleep on BCH, Bitcoin Cash. I've been talking about that, been holding it for a while. Of course, SUI is nice, all right? We're holding SUI. We got more of SUI than we have the meme coins, okay? We got some PNGU, all right? AVAX is pumping. Let's go into a further chart. Look at this, good people. Bitcoin now, compared to yesterday, a 1.6%. Look at that. Up. That's in the last 24 hours. And then what is Ethereum doing? Ethereum is up almost 3%. So you can bet your bottom dollar that BMNR is up. Matter of fact, let me just go to that really quick. So I'm going to go to BMNR, which is a crypto play on Ethereum. Okay. BMNR. It was up earlier by 10%. It was up earlier. Now it's up by 5%. And then a strategy was waking up, MSTR. It was waking up. Look at that. Is that correct? Oh, yeah. Look at that, good people. Strategy popping up 8% and Bitmine up 5. Let's call that 6%. We will take that all day, every day. Okay. So now I want to play this short clip from this gentleman from a bank, and he's going to discuss. It's very short. Please hold what he sees in store for the overall stock market or the S&P, which will also make crypto pump. Remember, good people, crypto does well with lower interest rates. I've been saying that for years. And when do you position or when do you buy on the days when it's beat down? Listen to this.
Joining us this morning with his reaction, Goldman Sachs senior U.S. portfolio strategist Ben Snyder's here at Post 9. Ben, good to have you back. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
Sounds like you think the muted reaction was because everything was seemingly well telegraphed. Market was ready for this one, yeah?
I think that's right. It's not a particularly controversial view, but we can see very clearly in the historical data that if the Fed is cutting rates and earnings are continuing to grow, it's a good thing for stocks. The issue, of course, as you point out, is that the market anticipated this.
Right. So your year-end target levels are pretty much where we are now on equities and on the 10-year.
That's right. We're basically about in line with fair value. And when I look at what the rates market is pricing for the Fed, and when I look at what the equity market is pricing for growth, they look pretty close to our house views. I think if you're going to make an argument for tactical upside here, it's really less about the macro fundamentals and much more about positioning, which is surprisingly light given a market that's at an all-time highs.
Right. So that would involve what kind of repositioning into what areas of the market?
So you'd think with a 22 times PE multiple and a record high S&P that measures of sentiment and investor length would also be at all-time highs. But that's not what we see. We have a sentiment indicator we put out every Friday that combines positioning data across 9 different investor groups ranging from households to hedge funds, and that's still below average. So it looks like there's plenty of room if the labor market data hold up, if the Fed delivers as promised, for people to add length to the S&P and continue to drive upside.
Any parts in particular that you like?
Within the equity market? So one thing we've talked about a few times over the last couple of months is a broadening out. We've seen that start over the last month. The Russell 2000 is up about 10%. Over the last month, I think most of that was driven by this expectation of rate cuts we were just discussing. But going forward, if we continue to see friendly data like we saw this morning with initial jobless claims with the Philly Fed, I think that broadening trade can change from a rates trade to a cyclical reacceleration trade.
What's reflected in earnings at this point on that cyclical acceleration story?
Our forecast is for 7% earnings growth this year and next. The consensus is a little bit higher than that. I think, generally speaking, the market is pricing something close to trend growth. That's also in line with our economic forecast. But I also think, given all the potential tailwinds between Fed cutting, between fiscal policy, between the surprising resilience of corporate earnings, it wouldn't shock me if the market started to price a little bit more than that over the next couple months.
Yeah, that's well said, especially on a day where the Russell's up almost 2%. It's coming off of yesterday's action, too. Ben, thank you.
So there you have it. The Russell 2000 is exactly what I was sharing with you guys. That is something that you need to keep an eye on because I agree that it does well. Okay, whether I agree or not, it just does well when the Fed starts reducing rates. Okay, and so does crypto. All right, so just keep that in mind. So we talk about here at Stock Up You, we talk about these things before they happen so you can position yourself. Now, keep in mind, this is still September. We could have a cool off, and then I still expect the end of the year to be a positive year. So that's why we trade the market we are in. we are never, ever overly bearish. When you are a perma bear, you leave a lot of money on the table, okay? So guys, come join us at Stock Up You, and this is Money Moves, right? Now, Money Moves is where I post all of my moves, and I'm literally getting a base. I'm not trying to fill this room with people. I'm trying to get people a base, meaning building solid, strong portfolios, which is going to take years. Now we're building out portfolios that's going to last for years and not just a day, because I want you wealthy and not just rich. So come join us there if you know nothing about it. I just post what I'm buying on the days that I buy. Then we're going, and then also to crypto. I'm posting all of my crypto, though I've just been holding what I have, and I'm starting to look at some more small positions that I might get into, to like some icing on the cake before the true pump comes. And I think, and it looks like to me, that alt season is absolutely starting for real though, because when the alts start outperforming ETH and they start to really run, then alt season has started. Okay, good people. Now, listen to this promo as we go off and join us tomorrow in Hampton, Virginia. We will be there. Myself, the Admiral, David Robinson, and then we're going to have Josh to come up and say a few words, and then you're going to get Keenan Grace's testimony. We will be there all 3 days, okay? So make sure in the description below, you're going to see the link, and it's going to tell you everything. It is at a church. It's a faith and finances based conference, okay? It's going to be at a church. Also, too, if you want to kill it in warrants, Stock Up You, okay? Use coupon code LEARN, LEARN, all right? And then if you want to just follow my moves, that's Money Moves. All are in the description below. We'll see you. Next time you see me, I'll be in Hampton, Virginia for tomorrow evening, all right? Make sure that you follow the instructions. Live, love, laugh, and learn. Listen to this promo. Hampton, Virginia, we are coming. It's the 4th annual Iron Sharpens Iron Convention. The Admiral himself will be a guest speaker along with yours truly. It's the Iron Sharpen Iron Convention, September 19th through the 21st. 3 days of power-packed information. All are welcome. Come on out to Hampton, Virginia. Make sure you click the link below and follow the instructions. David Robinson, the Admiral. Stock Up with Larry Jones. And special guests, Keenan Grace and Stocks with Josh. So you want to be there September 19th through the 21st. All are welcome. It's absolutely free. We'll see you there.